Good afternoon from London. It's a not very impressive August afternoon here. And hello from me, Dr. Dermot Hudson, the Chairman of the British Group for the Study of the Juche Idea, Chairman of the UK Korean Friendship Association, an official delegate of the Korean Friendship Association for the UK, and President of the Association for the Study of Songun Politics. And I say today, Happy Liberation Day, because today, the 15th of August, is Korea's Liberation Day. And in fact, today is the 75th anniversary of the liberation of Korea by the great leader, President Kim Il-sung, and the Korean People's Revolutionary Army. Korea had become a colony of Japan back in 1910, but in fact the Japanese imperialists had begun colonizing Korea before that, back in 1905, and even before then. They were aided by the Western imperialist powers like the US and Britain. Japanese colonial rule over Korea was truly horrendous. Korean people basically lost the right to be Korean. They couldn't speak the Korean language. They were subjected to slavery by the Japanese imperialists. Many people were killed by the Japanese in Korea. Resources were plundered, and perhaps worst of all, 200,000 Korean women were subjected to sexual slavery by the Japanese imperialists. A truly horrendous crime, which is in many ways beyond the human imagination. To this day, Japan has not acknowledged or apologised for this awful crime, nor has it ever paid proper compensation due to the Korean nation. President Kim Il-sung, as a young man, resolved to fight to make Korea independent. He took a new path, the path of Juche. Previously, bourgeois nationalists in Korea had tried to achieve independence with the help of big powers such as the US and China, various Western countries, and even tried to appeal to Japan for Korea's independence, which of course was a nonsensical thing to do, and they preached passive resistance, collecting signatures for a petition, and even trying to raise money to pay off debts to the Japanese, and generally adopted national reformist positions, which were absolutely and totally useless. A communist movement did emerge in Korea, but it was led by factionalists who also believed in appealing to big powers, and basically fought amongst themselves for recognition from the Comintern, the Third International. President Kim Il-sung realised that you couldn't wage the struggle for independence in that way. He went deep amongst the masses. He worked amongst the students and youth. He formed in 1926 the Down with Imperialism Union, and later the Young Communist League of Korea and the Anti-Imperialist Youth League. In July 1930, he founded the Korean Revolutionary Army, and then on the 25th of April 1932, he founded the Anti-Japanese People's Guerrilla Army, which became the Korean People's Revolutionary Army in 1934. He also formed a united front body, the Association for the Restoration of the Fatherland, in 1936. There is a myth in the Western history books, and also, some on the left believe this, that Korea was not liberated by its own efforts. That Korean independence was basically the gift of a big power, usually the Soviet Union, occasionally some say the Soviet Union and China. But it's a fact that the USSR had actually only entered the war against Japan on the 9th of August 1945, whereas the anti-Japanese guerrillas, led by President Kim Il-sung, had fought for well over a decade. And they fought in the spirit of Juche, spirit of self-reliance. For example, they made their own hand grenade, the Yonggil bomb, and I've actually seen a picture of this in a DPRK museum. This was because some people had hoped that the USSR would supply the anti-Japanese guerrillas of Korea with a hand grenade factory, but this was not forthcoming. So the anti-Japanese guerrillas resolved to manufacture their own. The anti-Japanese guerrillas, led by President Kim Il-sung, fought many battles against the Japanese, most notably the Battle of Pochombo in 1937. In 1945, on the 9th of August 1945, President Kim Il-sung gave the order for the final offensive to liberate Korea, and within a week, together with the Soviet Red Army, the anti-Japanese People's Guerrilla Army defeated the Japanese imperialists. And at the same time, there were many spontaneous mass uprisings, armed uprisings of the Korean people, and this is what drove the Japanese out of Korea. So the decadent Japanese samurais sent flying across the across the sea to Japan. Korea finally became independent. A new dawn of national resurrection occurred, and the Korean people gained new lives of independence and creativity, and went on to build a new Korea, a people's Korea, based on the Juche Idea. Today, people's Korea, guided by the Juche Idea, is the most independent country in the world. It doesn't have a single foreign soldier stationed on its soil. It is not a member of the IMF or World Bank or WTO or of the European Union or NATO or of APEC. It is a most solidly independent country that is building socialism through self-reliance, and this idea is inherited from the anti-Japanese armed struggle. So we say, long live Korean independence, long live the 75th anniversary of Korea's liberation, and long live the Juche Idea. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed, and please support the events held by the British Group for the Study of the Juche Idea and the UK Korean Friendship Association. Thank you, stay safe, have a good day.